third graders, today we're doing our Unit 4 Quick Quiz 3, and it is 3 pages, but it's going to go pretty well for you. So you're showing me what you've learned in the last few lessons. That's what a quick quiz is, so we try to do it on our own if possible. Ask your parents or me if you have questions. But I will go over clues, which is what I would do at school too, so I want you to follow my clues and then do the work, okay? Let's look at number 1. Use the data in the table to complete the bar graph. I'm going to take this information and I'm going to make a bar graph down here. So we're going to do one together. For second grade, it tells the number of students that each grade has. So second grade has 25. So I need to draw my bar up to 25, and if you notice, they're counting by tens. So 25 is going to be in the middle of 20 and 30. Just if I can tell that it's in the middle, we're okay. And then you can color it a certain color. Okay, so you're going to do that for all of those. And then number 2, you're going to take the information that's up here and put it into the line plot below. This is also, we'll do one of these together. So this is the time that they spent at school doing after school activities. So how many people spent a half hour? Well, 4 kids spent a half hour. So I'm going to go down to the half and I'm going to make my 4 dots. One for each kid, because there were 4 kids that spent a half hour. Okay, and you're going to do that for all of those. Then down here, they're asking some questions about this graph. Okay, so you're going to read. It says the animals that Gary saw while hiking are shown in the pictograph on the right. Use the pictograph to answer questions 3 and 4. So answer these 2 questions, and remember, the most important thing about a pictograph is to make sure that you are paying attention to how much each dot is worth. So in this case, each dot is worth 2. Very, very important, or you will not get these 2 questions right, okay? Also, it looks like you're going to need to do a label on these, so the word after many, okay, would be your label for whatever answer you get for those. So if you want to pause right now, finish up this page, and then meet me on page 322. All right, here we are on page 322, which is our fluency check to see how you're doing with your facts. If possible, try not to use your times table. If you do use your times table, just write up at the top, used TT, or used times table, okay? That way I'll know. And then down here you have addition and subtraction. Biggest important thing there is to remember to watch your sign, because they switch back and forth between plus and minus, okay? Let's do one of those together. Let's do a minus one together. So let's look at number 11. I have 4 minus 2, 2, 5 minus 4, 1, 7 minus 3, 4. Pretty easy, right? Just remember when you're subtracting, that on that one we didn't need to borrow. But I see other ones on here that we're going to need to borrow on. So if it's bigger on the bottom, you borrow. And then when you're doing the addition, you might need to regroup and put a 1 up on top. So be careful with that too. So pause the video, finish this page, and then meet me on the last page for today, which is 323. All right, here we are on our last page. So you are going to be selecting the letter of the fraction that you think is correct. Now, the cool thing is that there is more than one answer that is correct. So it says select the one that mark all that apply. So there are going to be 2 answers that you're going to need to color in for number 1. So you're going to decide what the fraction is and then color in the 2 that mean that. Then when you get to number 2, you're going to be using, for numbers A through D, you're going to answer questions, yes or no, about the clock. whether it's yes or no. So number 2A says, is it 26 minutes before 11? You're going to answer yes or no. You can't do both. Okay, so answer those questions about the clock. And then for our last one, number 3, okay, this is where we are dividing the bar into the parts. So it says use a straight edge. That just means a ruler, but you can just do it with you don't need to use a ruler. We're going to divide the bar into 6 parts. Remember how I always say to do the middle first, and then maybe put 3, you're going to put 3 on each side. Okay, and then when it says what does the shaded bar represent, that's where you're going to write the fraction. Number on the top, number on the bottom. And then down below is where we're going to add up all the parts. So, for instance, if I have all my parts there, I'm going to write 1 out of 6 plus 1 out of 6. And then you're going to tell me how many you need to write there. Okay, don't forget to, once you get your 6 parts, you're going to be shading 4. So you're going to write how many 1/6s do you need to write down here then. Okay, all right, thanks guys.